Chandra, I just want to dance with somebody.
I'll tell Katie.
I just gotta dance. We watched the trailer for I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston story.
Yes.
And there's lots to unpack with it.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Like what?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Wait, what? Unpack?
Unpack? What are you talking about? There's all kinds of things to talk about. What do you think about the actress? Did you think she looked like her or no?
I think her physicality and bone structure incredibly resembled her. But her face wasn't as pretty as Whitney naturally was.
I think the same thing happened with her that kind of happened with Evan Rachel Wood in Weird Al's thing, where maybe Evan Rachel Wood doesn't necessarily look like Madonna, because I've never thought she looked like Madonna.
No.
But then in that movie,
when she
dressed
was made
up
up
like Madonna, she looked like Madonna. And I feel like that about this actress. She didn't necessarily look like her as much until she was all dolled up, particularly at the Super Bowl thing when she's singing the national anthem and she was in the tracksuit with the hair up and everything. She really gave me that Whitney vibe. But
okay. Now, they just happen to be black. It's not because they're black. But like the Michael Jackson story of his life, and then also the Tina Turner story. The Tina Turner story of her life.
The return of Tina Turner.
It included the bad stuff that they had to overcome.
Yeah.
I wonder if this Whitney Houston story is going to go into her drug habits, into her relationship with Bobby. Is it going to cover all that stuff?
I don't know. I mean, it did say
or is it just going to be her rise to stardom?
It did say the Whitney you didn't know. Nobody knew or whatever. So I don't know what that means. I mean, but there's going to be a level of controversy. In my opinion, there's a level of controversy because I wonder how they're going to play some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Even her at the Super Bowl singing the national anthem. It's we're not culturally tone deaf. We know that right now, and for the past 6-7 years, Colin Kaepernick's all taking a knee and not standing for the national anthem, and how that has sort of been this movement for if you support minorities. As this trailer comes out and as this movie comes out, I wonder how minority communities are going to respond to that. Are they going to come out and say things like boycott this movie because it's celebrating American patriotism or anything like that from just the trailer?
Are you saying they're going to retroactively boycott Whitney Houston for singing the national anthem?
I'm saying crazier things than that have happened in recent times in our culture. I'm saying
that would really be
not
crazy.
Surprise me at all if crazy getting on the soapbox activists were like, we got to ban this movie or boycott this movie because it's celebrating American patriotism. When in fact, it's literally celebrating a woman of color who achieved her dreams and reached the peak of stardom.
I mean, I hope it literally has nothing to do with color and race and movements. And
me too.
I hope it's not politicized at all. I hope it's just a movie about a great singer, and that people enjoy it on that level.
But I think it's hoping against hope to think that, because in the trailer alone they say we're having some complaints about your music. People say it's not black enough. That was one of the lines in the thing. It's and then I love her response. She's like, I don't do black music, I don't do white music, I just do music. It's that's what I've said for a long time. It's that's what we're wanting to get to, is where there's not all these different peoples and whatever. It's you can have your culture and your separate thing, but we're supposed to treat each other just like human beings working our lives out on this planet.
Yeah. I wonder if her Oprah interview is going to be on there.
What Oprah interview?
She was interviewed by Oprah, and Oprah was asking her about, is she on drugs, stuff like that. Things got pretty serious.
I know that from looking at it, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more true to real life than the Weird Al Yankovic story.
Yeah.
Because that seems like sensationalism that he was a part of, because he's in the trailer, he's in the movie. And I only mention that because that's the most recent one coming out.
I just wonder how far it'll go.
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'll say that. It really did look awesome. I wonder how many stories like this are out there that of pop stars and stuff like that they could just make a movie for. They could just sit down with the people who knew them and get all the information and then write a script for, and people would still think it was amazing and just eat it up.
I think it's fascinating to see someone go from just being an average person to a superstar. I like watching stuff like that. Even if it's just 50% based in reality.
Yeah.
Just getting to see a little bit of it's neat.
Well, that new Elvis movie came out. You saw it.
Yeah. that was good.
It was really good.
Well, the first half I was a little mad about because they mixed church and sex a little too much. But the last half, I was like, I didn't know this stuff happened. It was amazing. At the end, I forgot it wasn't Elvis. That's how good it was. I was like,
wow.
You need to see it.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it. Elvis came out. Weird's coming out. The story of Weird Al. You've got this story. It was, what was it, 4 years ago or something, that Bohemian Rhapsody came out?
It's just a couple of years
And
ago.
this is from the director, I think, who did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that was pretty good. Like,
You think they're going to do a David Bowie movie soon? Because he passed away.
Die?
Yeah.
Forgot about that. All the legends are dying.
I thought Tom Petty passed away. Yeah, Tom Petty passed away.
Yeah, he did.
They're going to do... That's it. Sign it up. They're going to do a Tom Petty movie. They're going to do a David Bowie movie.
I don't know anything about their lives.
No, but I think they'd be arguably as interesting as Whitney's because they have that similar story, but in different genres. You know, they went to the pinnacle. Tom Petty is a legendary rock artist.
I definitely think he's legendary, but I don't think he's as widespread as Whitney was.
Well, but I don't know that rock and roll was as widespread as pop. I don't know that rock and roll's ever been as widespread as pop or had as wide an audience as pop.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, really.
I mean, can you go anywhere and not hear Leonard Skinner?
We think that because we live in Kentucky.
No, it's in all the movies. Freebird, everybody knows it.
Yeah, but think about Kiss from a Rose.
What about it?
Seal.
Yeah.
That's the single most played elevator music song in history.
But it was a big movie single.
Yes, it was a big movie single, but it's a pop song that's played everywhere. Think about how big NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were when they were big.
Yeah.
Compared to like rock stars. Because when you talk about rock stars, you can name this slew of bands from that era, which means they were all kind of big, pretty big. Even the biggest ones still shared that stage with other big artists. But then you think about pop stars, like there are certain pop stars that every single human being will know. Like there's some people who have no idea who Aerosmith is, and they were one of the biggest rock bands. There's some people who don't know who AC/DC is, and
What
they
about
are
Nickelback.
There's some people who don't know who Nickelback is.
No, there's not.
There's some people who wish they didn't know who Nickelback is.
What?
But Michael Jackson. Everybody knows who Michael Jackson
Well, he's called
is.
the king of pop.
Justin Bieber. Everybody knows who Justin Bieber is.
He's the prince of pop. You can't name these people.
You're proving my case right here, right now. You're proving it.
No.
I'm just saying, Tom Petty is a legendary rock artist, but rock, I don't know that rock has ever been as big as pop. Look at the biggest stations we have.
So a lot of pop is rock.
Pop rock. There's a whole genre. Pop rock. Anyways, this is not a debate about rock and pop. I'm just saying, I do feel like David Bowie and those guys, even if they weren't as huge, there's so much to be said about their life because they did some of the same things. And arguably, drugs and rock and roll were like hand in hand. So it's probably as much a sordid tale and like a just wild story as Whitney Houston or anything else.
Do you think some people wouldn't even like, because she's such a legend for the black community probably, do you think they don't even like us bringing up the drug part of the life?
Probably. I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, to
everybody
me,
has their issues. I mean, and this was something that was obviously an issue for her life.
I mean, to me, it's a normal thing. If you're that famous with that much money, that many people surrounding you, it's more likely going to happen than not.
Yeah. Well, you've got a totally different normal. Your normal's totally different, and you're dealing with a totally different set of issues than normal people would, for sure. You don't even have a real grasp, a concept of reality, of what real reality is for the average human. You're in that 1% of human beings that is like different.
Okay. I have a question for you, and you can cut it out if you want to.
Sure.
You're in the Christian rock world.
Sure.
Did you ever had drugs infiltrated backstage festivals and stuff at that level? Nothing like
in our
that?
crew.
Well, no, I don't mean with your band. I mean, like, you were around all kinds of other bands and at festivals.
I cannot verify anybody in the Christian world doing any sort of illegal drugs. No.
Like, you didn't experience that, see that? There was no dealers in the back, like...
No.
Okay.
In Christian world, they're trying to figure out if they can go to a pub or something like that, or they have people who are trying to bring... whether or not it's a dry bus versus a wet bus, like whether they can bring alcohol onto the bus or not for the tour, whether it's a dry tour or if that's acceptable. That's in Christian world. Like, so that's the most that I've ever seen is whether or not somebody's smoking or drinking or something. And like if somebody has to do bus stops at gas stations, so this person gets out when the bus driver gets up so they can have a smoke or something like that. That's basically the most I've ever seen. We're pretty hardcore straight edge, as they say. The trailer looks great. The look and feel of it, it seems epic. Everything looks so big. Yeah. They were so smart. It was intentional to end on that. Obviously, her in the Super Bowl, and like that's the images you see for the movie.
I didn't even know about that Super Bowl. How old was that when that happened?
You didn't know?
No.
Okay, so we're going to do another video where we react to Whitney Houston's performance of the national anthem.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Are you excited to see the movie based on the trailer?
I'll definitely watch it. Is it going to be in theaters or another straight to Amazon type thing?
You never know.
But I will go see that at the theater.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Not Gospel Studios YouTube channel, don't forget to share. Click on one of the other videos that you can find here. Subscribe. I think it's down here. Tell your friends about us. Tell them that it's healthy and vegan and all of those things. Keep being awesome because that's how God made you.